I thought that nothing's going to surprise me on this job anymore, but I was wrong. More problems, but you know what? I think I'm starting to enjoy this. So we lifted the floor, and what we've seen there, it's, let me show you. Oh man, is this ever gonna end? Anyway, so, you know, there's more and more things just coming up to the surface now. Nothing surprises me in here anymore. I've seen it all now, that's it. By far, this is the worst project I've ever seen. But anyway, we're here and we will fix it. No more crying, no more moaning. Let's get on with it and let's get this house finished. So beside all the problems, we have all the solutions that need to be in place. We have a written plan of what we're going to do and how and when. Now we're back here now full time. The main contractor that botched up everything in here got finally totally expelled from this job. Is gone, and we took over the project. And we're dealing with the most important serious issues, such as repairing the roofs because they're leaking. All of them, all 5 roofs were leaking. But before I go any further, I wanted to say thank you so much for all your lovely comments and support in my previous The Nightmare Project video. It means the world to me, so thank you so much for all the subscriptions and all the lovely comments. And we're gonna make a nice job out of this in the end. So there'll be quite a few videos on this project, so follow me and you'll see it's gonna look amazing. So anyway, my client, somehow, he didn't know I have a YouTube channel. Somehow he come across the Nightmare Project video. He was a bit upset that I'm calling his house the Nightmare Project. Well, it is a nightmare project. I said to him, it is a bloody nightmare project, but I love it, you know, and we're gonna do it nicely, so don't worry about it. You know, it is the biggest nightmare I've worked on, but we're getting there. We've got, let me just flip this camera. How do you do this? 1, 2, 3. There you go. Yeah, we've got some good progress. The electricians are out completely. We've got a lot of those kind of cases to deal with, but it's okay. We're working on it. And as I mentioned, all the shadow gapping around the door frames instead of architrave, we are cracking on with that from tomorrow. Well, maybe at some point this week, we're going to start self-leveling downstairs and laying the parquet flooring. The joinery team wants to come in here as soon as possible and start installing the furniture. I think it's a bit too early, but anyway, they're pushing. This is the floor that we're using. Really nice floor. 11mm thick, 3mm engineered oak. Unfortunately, we had to drop everything. That is the nature of a building project sometimes. Usually I work from the top floor down, and when the project is finished downstairs, that is the end of the project altogether. But in this case, we are working with some other contractors and we have to accommodate their needs too, so everyone can be getting some progress. On the request from the interior designer, we were instructed to complete this small ground floor living room first, lay down the flooring, spray the room with a base coat and install the skirting, so the joinery team can install their furniture in this room and use the rest of the room as a storage for the kitchen project, which is next door. Sadly, the screed done by the previous contractor was very poor. We tried to repair it, but in the end, we have made the decision to break it and replace it with new, strong screed. We had to be very careful due to the underfloor heating pipes being very close to the surface.
The next day, when the screed hardened, we poured the self-leveling compound to the desired level.
Following day, we broke the screed. It was very loose. It was a good call to break this all up because it's just sand and water and maybe a gram of cement, so it wasn't holding at all. We've rearranged the pipes and clipped them a bit better than they were done previously. Oh man, is this ever gonna end? I don't think I'll have. By the way, I don't think I'm gonna have any more surprises on this job because I think everything that's went wrong. We've discovered the new four leaking roofs. That's another thing that I'll never expected. But anyway, I think we got it all on the list now in terms of what went wrong, and the plan is already in place how to fix all of that. So, all right. So it's getting more interesting here by the day. Sorry, I just ran up the stairs. It's a big house, you know, and I'm in my mid-40s, so. Anyway, so there's more and more things just coming up to the surface now, but these are all minor things, so we'll tackle it. We have a good plan how to tackle all of that. Let me just quickly show you here. So this is this is gonna be one of the kids' bedroom. And this line here, I mean, it's probably very hard to see on the video. If you see the laser line, and then the actual line of the ceiling, I don't know how well you can see this. But it's terrible, like this line is all over the place. All the way there. And because on that wall, let me just zoom it out. Because on that wall, as you see the green vertical laser line there, so basically that is going to be a wardrobe, bespoke oak wardrobe, and on the top, where the wardrobe is meeting the ceiling, there'll be a 5mm shadow gap. So that ceiling has to be bang on, has to be perfect and straight, and so is this line here as well. Oh, you can't see it.
I am going to be using some bonding to straighten the line. It is a visual illusion that I'm creating here. The differences on the ceiling are up to 80mm, and to fix it properly we would have to rip down all the plasterboards and reinstall the Velux windows, level the ceiling with metal or wooden studs and start again. The client said no to this, and it's just too late in the day to do this now. I haven't filmed the plastering process, and I'm sorry about that. I just don't want my videos to be too long, so I'm trying not to include absolutely everything. And speaking of that, I would love to hear your thoughts on how can I improve my content. I would really appreciate that. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks.
So this flat roof here, it's already leaking. Let me show you. And it's only about 5 months old, so that's inside here. Look, the wall is already getting wet. So yeah. Honestly, everything in here is like that. Absolutely every single thing. Whatever they've touched, they just messed it all up. Now
let's talk about these roofs. So this is roof number 1, roof number 2, roof number 3, roof number 4, and the roof I'm standing on right now, it's a roof number 5. We are going to resurface all the roofs with flexible resin. But before we start doing this, let me quickly show you what we have discovered.
I thought that nothing's going to surprise me on this job anymore, but I was wrong. Let me show you. check this out. So we're repairing this roof because it was already leaking. And by the way, this is a brand new roof. It's been here for like 6 months only. And so all of this was covered with coping stones. So the coping stones were showing obvious cracks in the mortar. So we thought, okay, probably they didn't put a DPC underneath it. So let us open it. And after we've opened it, not that there was no DPC or even cavity closures, the insulation don't even have wall. The wall doesn't have insulation. Only about halfway through it, that's it. And then the rest of it is nothing. It's absolutely disgusting. So obviously we are now filling it all up with insulation. Today's regulations are 150 mil insulation. This is 100 mil cavity because they've started this project like 3 years ago. So back then the regulations were still 100 mil. But anyway, yeah. So every day we're discovering something new, and we have to deal with it. So instead of taking steps forward on this job, we're just constantly taking steps back and steps back. And that's the story of this project.
As you see, we've closed the cavity with the cavity closures and putting the DPC cores on top of it. So even if the water penetrates through the mortar between the coping stones, it will have no chance to penetrate into the wall. It doesn't cost much money to do the job right, just a little bit more effort, that's all. And now, let's get those roofs done once and for all and move on with the project as planned. And by the way, we're only resurfacing this roof. This is not how our roofs look like when they're finished. If you want to see a proper job, the link to the video is in the description, and also it will appear at the end of this video. Next in the queue is roof number 5, the Big Daddy. It's 80 square meters altogether. The roof has 2 slopes and it was all one platform. It didn't have expansion joint in the middle. The slopes are going in opposite directions. So as the roof was moving and flexing, it created a lot of cracks. The resin they used on this roof was just a cheap basic resin, and if it was installed correctly it would have been fine, but it wasn't. So we had to cut out the center of the roof and put a flashing on it and to create the expansion joint, and this is the proper job. And here are some shots how badly the roofs were installed previously. As you see, all these holes and cracks, all of that was letting water through. Those little holes, it's just not enough resin. Some places we could see timber through the resin, it was that bad. They really rushed it, they haven't done it correctly. See this clear vision of timber in there. And here, that massive hole there, it's appalling, honestly. Massive long crack, so the water was just leaking behind the flashing and just going into the roof. All of this, every single one of those 5 roofs are completely rubbish. We've done all the four roofs at this stage. We've got one left, the little guy, roof number 4. We're gonna tackle that when the weather gets a little bit better. At the moment it's freezing and no good idea to resin in these temperatures. And this is how many materials we needed to complete the job. It was almost £5,000.
On top of that, we realized that the floor in the plant room is tilting about 60 mil. That's how bad the joist work is. So, okay, of course we're going to repair it. So we lifted the floor, and what we've seen there, it's, let me show you, that's just something amazing. So obviously this is all our new joist work and it's all level now. Look at the state of this planning. Look at all of this. Look, cables, pipes. Look at all of this.
The client told us not to even touch this. It was all pressurized and tested for leaks, and apparently it's all good. To fix this, we would have to cut it all out and replant the whole house. This is the main hub where all the pipes are coming. So we just redone the joist work, leveled it, resurfaced it with new plywood, and we hope for the best.
More problems, but you know what? I think I'm starting to enjoy this whole process. I actually thinking of restructuring the company and just maybe specialize in taking over botched up projects. That's my plan, because I'm actually starting to enjoy this. With this guy, so many more problems in here, but I think the list is over. The list of problems, I think, is complete now, and we just have solutions now. But just to give you a little heads ups on what's happening, let me show you a couple more things. So this opening, it's opening to the back living room. Let me just turn around, I'll show you. This will be the kitchen. We have finished terrazzo flooring in here already. It's covered with plywood, so it's protected. And this is the back living room / entertainment room. That's the only room in the house that will have a TV, which will be there. And in here there will be a sofa. Now, original plan for this side of the building was that there will be a really big oak sliding door, and it will slide that way on that wall. Now we discovered some serious issues with this wall, so I don't know if you see the laser line. So this is, as you see, how badly the wall has been built, and if you look on this side, look, this is actual line of the wall, like how it should be, to be straight. And then in there we've got 0. So collectively it's a disaster. And oh dear, what's happening with this camera? Yeah, and so we're gonna bring this wall forward quite a lot. We discovered 0 insulation in the ceilings, 0 insulation in the walls, believe it or not, and that's getting sorted. Let me take you upstairs, I'll show you quickly.
Okay, let's take it from here in my next video. In the meantime, stay warm, look after yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.